clock up here on the counter that says 7 o'clock, so with that being noted, we will call the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting of Monday, November the 8th to order. Could have a roll call, please.
Mr. Craddock?
Here.
Ms. Deering?
Here.
Mr. Yeaman?
Here.
Mr. Brumfield?
Here.
Mr. Stone?
Here.
Mr. Merricks?
Here.
Mr. Easley?
Here. Thank you, ma'am. Got a full house. If we could have a moment of silence to ask for guidance for our meeting tonight, that we'll make good decisions for the county and all those involved. Thank you. You have the agenda before you. If someone could review it and make a motion for approval.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Mr. Yeaman seconded it. All right. I'm not seeing a place to vote. All I'm seeing is second. What am I missing?
Okay.
There it is.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, looks like we've got a unanimous decision, thank you, or a unanimous approval rather. In your packet you have the minutes from the October the 14th meeting. Do I hear a recommendation they stand approved as written?
So moved.
Have a motion by Mr. Yeaman,
I second.
second by Mr. Craddock. All those in favor of approving the minutes, vote yes. Motion's carried, thank you. Any old business?
There is no old business.
Okay, new business?
We will have a meeting next month. That will be Monday, December 13th. We do have a couple of cases.
12, 13, 21. All right. I'm not going to read the hearing of citizens. I do not have a chairman's report. Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to Article 5, Division 7 of the Pittsylvania County Zoning Ordinance, we, the Board of Zoning Appeals, have been empowered to hear and decide specific applications and appeals in support of said ordinance. In accomplishing this important task, we are charged with promoting the health, safety, and general welfare of the citizens of Pittsylvania County. We must ensure that all our decisions and recommendations be directed to these goals and that each be consistent with the environment, the comprehensive plan, and in the best interest of Pittsylvania County, its citizens, and its posterity. Anyone here to speak to the board, other than the applicant, regarding zoning cases will be limited to 3 minutes. Get through these minutes. Okay, we will open case V-21-002, Jessica O'Neill. Ms. Ragsdale, your report.
Case V-21-002, Jessica O'Neill has petitioned for a variance on 0.32 acres located on State Road 641 on Spartan Lane in the Callens-Gretna election district. She is asking for a variance to Section 35-226, minimum yard dimensions, front yard setback, and rear yard setback of the Pittsylvania County Zoning Ordinance. The Planning Commission recommended that the petitioner's request be granted with no opposition. The staff summary is enclosed in the board packet. Mr. Chairman, Ms. Jessica O'Neill is here to represent the petition.
Ms. O'Neill, do you have anything you'd like to say to the board? Okay, thank you, ma'am. We may have some questions for you a little later. Anyone have any questions for Ms. O'Neill before we close the public hearing? Is there anyone signed up to speak? Okay. Is there anyone in the public that would like to speak? Very well, we'll close the public hearing at 7:05. Guess I need to do that, don't I? Okay, members of the board, the variance is our, I guess, most delicate thing that we hear. We have to be careful not to do special favors for individuals that may simply want to do something to their property that just doesn't quite fit the zoning ordinance. At the same time, the zoning ordinance is set up in such a way that in a situation where a variance is needed and required in order to own or make changes to the property, then the zoning ordinance allows that. In your packet, we've got 5. What I would like to do here is in order to meet the USBC, a 3 foot by 3 foot rear porch will need to be constructed into the required rear setback, requiring a variance of 23 feet. Additionally, the 4x4 stoop on the front of each structure will need to be replaced, requiring a variance of 7 feet from the required front yard setback. So front and back will require variances if the board approves the variance. I will read the 5 things that are required. I'm not going to read the statement that goes with them. You've got it on your page 8 of your packet, I think. The 5 things that need to be met in order for the board to grant a variance for the said property. The property interest for which the variance is being requested was acquired in good faith, and any hardship was not created by the applicant for the variance. Item number 2, the granting of the variance will not be of substantial detriment to adjacent property and nearby properties in the proximity of that geographical area. Requirement number 3, the condition or situation of the property concerned is not of so general or recurring a nature as to make reasonably practicable the formulation of a general regulation to be adopted as an amendment to the ordinance. And one of the statements in here, under that, I highlighted, said, if the structures were to be removed, the property would be considered a non-buildable lot, and they could not be replaced. So that creates quite a hardship there, number 3. Number 4, the granting of the variance does not result in a use that is not otherwise permitted on such property or a change to the zoning classification of the property. The property is surrounded by like homes and residential properties. The relief or remedy sought by the variance application is not available through a special exemption process that is authorized in the ordinance pursuant to subdivision 6 of 15-2-2309, or the process for modification of a zoning ordinance pursuant to subdivision A4 of 15.2-2286 at the time of the filing of the variance application. The property, if you read through those 5 items, this application meets all 5 of those criteria to permit a variance. And if something could be done with those 2 homes, it would certainly improve those 2 homes and the surrounding community. Comments?
Mr. Chairman, I think this situation is really a perfect example of why we have the variance process. Like you said, it meets all the criteria, so I would certainly support a positive motion.
Thanks, sir. All right, sounds like Mr. Craddock is leaning toward or recommending a positive motion. He's made a positive motion. Do we have a second for a positive motion?
I second.
Okay, we got got several. Y'all pick one of those. Okay, I'll read a positive motion for the variance, and we'll see how it goes. Whereas Jessica O'Neill has petitioned the Board of Zoning Appeals for a variance, and whereas the application does fulfill the minimum requirements for variance from the provisions of the ordinance, and whereas the board finds that the strict application of the ordinance would produce undue hardship, that the hardship is not shared generally by other properties in the same zoning district and the same vicinity, that the authorization of variance will not be of substantial detriment to adjacent property, and that the character of the district will not be changed by the granting of the variance. And whereas the condition or situation of the property concerned is not of so general or recurring a nature as to make reasonably practicable the formulation of a general regulation to be adopted as an amendment to the ordinance. I move the variance be granted. We've got a motion by Mr. Craddock and a second by, who did we?
It's Deering.
Ms. Deering. Okay. All those in favor? Vote yes. All right, your variance has been granted. Congratulations, good luck to you. Is there a motion that we adjourn?
So moved.
Meeting adjourned. Time is 7:12.
Close that.